Japan hates anime YouTubers. Japanese anime studios hate this one weird trick to get around copyright laws. Not living in Japan. So last year, a little story made its way across the internet. The story of a Japanese YouTuber who was sentenced to a $6,000 fine, oh yeah, and 2 years in prison for what, you might ask? For making a Spy Family anime fan edit and for a let's play of the visual novel Steins Gate. That would be like me waking up tomorrow to find out that Japan had extradited YouTuber Super Eyepatch Wolf for his many video essays over anime and manga. Well, if it isn't the notorious criminal Super Eyepatch Wolf, if that even is your real name. Oh, the silent treatment won't save you now, Mr. Wolf. We here in Japan know all about your heinous crimes. Did you really think that you could get away with making such high-quality video essays about anime and manga, and that we wouldn't find out, Mr. Wolf? You make me sick. Cat got your tongue, eh, Mr. Wolf? Well, don't worry. Where you're going, no one will be able to hear you speak anyway. Boys, take him away. So the story goes like this, that a 53-year-old weeb and anime YouTuber, Shinobu Yoshida, was arrested on suspicions of violating copyright law by uploading gameplay videos and anime animation videos to YouTube without permission of the copyright holder. The content in question? A 1-hour-long gameplay video of the visual novel Steins Gate and a fan edit of the hit comedy anime Spy Family. According to the courts, Mr. Yoshida uploaded these videos with the, I quote, intent for financial gain because somehow this dude managed to get this Spy Family edit past the YouTube copyright tool and get it monetized. So if you aren't aware somehow, Japan's copyright laws, like many of their other laws, are quite different from the ones that we have here in the United States or the rest of the Western world. And by different, I mean, well, they're strict as fuck. If you've been around like the online anime space for a while, you might remember DBZ Gate, where Toei Animation, the copyright holder for Dragon Ball Z, attempted to erase YouTuber Totally Not Mark from existence by flagging over 150 of his videos going back years, saying that these videos violated Japanese copyright law. This is like the nightmare end-all be-all scenario for like any YouTuber out there, especially a YouTuber that does any kind of like media reviews, like especially in the anime space, as it always feels like we are walking on like very thin ice, like at all times when it comes to what is labeled fair use content. Now, Mark is not alone in this situation with Toei, not by like any means necessary. Toei is kind of like notorious for flagging videos involving really any of their copyrighted content. More specifically though, Dragon Ball Z and One Piece videos, which is why I generally stay away from making videos on either of those two anime. I mean, technically, I guess there was that one video I made about the worst live action of all time, Dragon Ball Evolution, but let's be frank here, that movie was so dog shit, I don't think Toei really gives a shit if you make content over it. Mark's situation with Dragon Ball Z and Toei Animation surprisingly led to an actual change in the YouTube policy. YouTube allowing Toei to take down the videos, but only in Japan, leaving the videos up for the rest of the world, in countries, I mean, with specifically stronger fair use protections, and seeing as all of his videos are in English and are very much aimed at an English audience, this actually, for once, kind of makes sense. Our friend Shinobu Yoshida, though, well, he was not so lucky. You see, here in America, the big old USA, the big apple pie, I should say, we have this concept known as fair use. If you watch enough YouTube videos, you're probably familiar with this, but basically, fair use boils down to this. It's simply allowing a party to use a copyrighted work without permission from the copyright holder for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, research, etc. You get it. Yes, the language here and the themes we're talking about are all rather ambiguous, which is why plenty of content creators here on YouTube can get in trouble, but generally, if the content is considered transformative, meaning that like something new has been added to the content, or the content itself that you are making, the copyrighted content that you are using, is not meant to be a substitution for the original work, then it falls under fair use. Hence why someone like me could make a video essay on Dragon Ball Evolution using a plethora of clips from the movie itself. Japan? Well, Japan doesn't really have fair use. In Japan, copyright is automatically granted when content is creative, meaning that the only way that one could repost said content, even if it's in a transformative nature, would be with expressive permission from the copyright holder themselves, something that really basically is impossible for the average Japanese YouTuber to get unless you have a massive agency behind you, or unless you are a massive VTuber.
I'm a guy. Thank you, whoever.
What? Essentially, the argument from the Japanese side that made these copyright rules is that allowing these anime videos, whether they be video essays, reviews, commentary, or simply just fan edits, makes it less likely that a person would go and watch the original content that they are using in said fan edit or said commentary video. To which I say, that's some fucking bullshit. I mean, this is anecdotal as fuck, but do you know how many times I've watched a video essay about an anime, or really just any piece of media before that I've never seen, and then been like, holy shit, I'm gonna go watch that right now. Now, if we move over into the world of video games, more specifically in the case of Yoshida, our Japanese YouTuber friend, visual novels, I think that this kind of argument from the Japanese copyright holders might hold a bit more sway. Over the last few years, Giga Japanese video game studio Nintendo has earned themselves a bit of a reputation for, well, being a bit copyright strike happy when it comes to content that is made around their mini games. A year ago, massive gaming YouTuber PointCrow found himself square in Nintendo's crosshairs for daring to post a video of a modded version of Breath of the Wild. The whole Let's Play genre on YouTube in general is actually a really interesting kind of exercise in how copyright law works, as game studios in the past have argued that Let's Play videos shouldn't qualify for fair use, as they are potentially impacting on the sale of said game that the Let's Play is being made about. And when you think about it, in some context, it kind of makes sense. Why would I purchase a story game, let's say specifically, if I've already watched an entire Let's Play series of someone playing said story game? And I think this possibly holds true even more so for something like visual novels. Now, fortunately for us YouTube enjoyers and the Let's Play community as a whole, the majority of video game studios have created guidelines that do allow creators to post and make money on Let's Play content as long as they follow certain guidelines. Unfortunately for our Japanese YouTuber friend Yoshida here, though, apparently he broke those guidelines in his Steins Gate video. Specifically, the Japanese guidelines restrict gameplay videos to around 1 hour long, and they cannot be monetized without expressive consent for the copyright holder. Yoshida's Steins Gate video was not only over 1 hour long, but he actually had the audacity to include spoilers and the ending. And worst of all, it was monetized. How dare he make $50 in ad revenue off of our video game? That's my $50. Now again, I do understand why game studios and animation studios might not like this whole idea of fair use. And I mean, when it comes to a visual novel specifically, I kind of understand their argument here. Now let's say I watched a Let's Play video of a visual novel. Let's say it was Yoshida's video over Steins Gate. Let's say I watched it from start to finish, consuming the entire visual novel. I don't really have any incentive or any reason to buy said visual novel, buy said video game myself, to play it myself, And basically that's their argument. The problem to me really is in the severity of their response. I mean, Yoshida, our Japanese YouTuber friend here, got a $6,000 fine and was sentenced to 2 years in prison on a 5-year deferred sentence, meaning that if he were to break the law again in the next 5 years, basically from his sentencing up until 2028, he would then serve 2 years in Japanese prison. All because of Steins Gate and Spy Family. I mean, like, Jesus, couldn't they just, like, I don't know, take down the video, or, I don't know, claim the, like, monetization of said video? Sending a guy to jail over a freaking fan edit feels, I don't know, a little bit overkill to me, especially when it's Japanese jail that we're talking about here, which, from everything that I've heard about, is not a place you want to find yourself ending up. It's funny because, like, Japan is one of the safest places in the world, one of the safest places that I've ever been to. I can say this firsthand from my experience living in the country. This is partially due to it being a small island nation with a relatively small population, especially when you compare it to other nations like, I don't know, the United States, along with its strict gun laws and the fact that some of their laws and punishments just in general are absolutely insane. For example, Japan has a very strict no-drug policy. That is why everyone still smokes cigarettes over there like it's the freaking early 90s. For example, possession of cannabis carries a penalty of up to 5 years imprisonment. And when I say cannabis, I mean like any amount of cannabis at all, while consumption of cannabis carries a penalty of up to 7 years imprisonment. These aren't people who are trying to deal drugs, trying to sell drugs. This could just be literally you having some on your person or you smoking a little doobie. I actually know a girl from my international university when I was living in Japan that somehow would get cannabis smuggled in from Africa, and I was like, bro, what the f*** are you doing? Are you trying to risk your entire life, your entire future, everything, just to smoke a little weed? I literally could not wrap my head around it, but there she was with a big-ass bag of weed smoking a joint in her apartment. Suffice to say that when it comes to, like, laws and penalties for breaking said laws, Japan is, well, they're not f***ing around. Yoshida's case specifically is the first time that anyone has been found guilty for copyright violation for uploading video game footage and anime videos, and I have a feeling that it's not going to be the last one we see. In the court case, when asked about his motivation for making said videos, Yoshida said he just wanted someone to appreciate what he had created as part of his hobby. And man, does that kind of resonate with me? When I choose to make a video about like a specific topic, a specific work of media, whether it's like an anime, a movie, or a show, I usually do it because there's something about said piece of media that I find interesting, something that I love, that I want to share with other people out there, that I want other people to get to experience like I did. Whether it's like just how amazing said piece of media is, or maybe it's like a show or a movie that's so hilariously bad that the rest of the world, I think, needs to experience it. Either way, I want other people to experience these pieces of media with me, which is really kind of my main motivation whenever I make any kind of media review or any kind of like media commentary video, essay type video. So the prospect of getting sent to jail for making something like this is fucking terrifying. Now, thankfully, I live in the good old US of A, so really the worst thing that can happen is my video either getting claimed and I have to go back to my Premiere Pro file and trim down said claimed section. Really the worst thing, though, that can happen to someone in the United States over something like this is that a copyright holder could come along and issue 3 copyright strikes back to back, completely nuking your channel, which is basically what happened to Totally Not Mark. This is really just kind of the nature of the beast, the nature of the business, when you are depending on the broad terms and protections of something like fair use to protect the content you make. And luckily, YouTube, especially over the last few years, has made some really good steps forward to protecting content creators that actually use fair use and actually transform content should you be lucky enough to live in a country that actually has fair use protections. Even still though, it's kind of scary sometimes being a YouTuber and making like media review or commentary video essay type content. Even when I know that my video is completely transformative in nature, I have no idea when I upload it if it's going to get claimed for just using like 10 to 15 seconds of a clip from some random movie or some random anime. Even when YouTube's automatic system gives me the green light and tells me no claims have been found on my video, I still have no idea if I'm going to wake up one morning to find that like, oh, I don't know, Toei Animation has completely DMCA'd like all of my videos and my channel has been completely nuked. Even worse, waking up and finding out that you are facing potential jail time for making a video essay over, I don't know, something like Chainsaw Man. Anyway, I just wanted to make this video because I somehow missed this story when it happened last year, and I just find it so absolutely insane that a YouTuber could literally spend up to 2 years in jail for a Spy Family edit and a Steins Gate Let's Play video. Like, what a world that we live in. As always, guys, if you enjoyed the video, learned something new, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, as that is the easiest way to help support me and to keep these videos coming. If you did enjoy this video and you want to see other videos about anime or just other content that I've done, then click one of the other videos on screen now. As always, guys, thank you again for continuing to support me. Stay safe out there, drink your water, hug your mother. Until next time, peace, love, Aru.